Welcome to another episode of
Now
You Know.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Kathy.
This year, nearly 3,500 bills were introduced in the House and Senate during the legislative session.
Now, inevitably, there are some good, bad, and downright ugly ideas every year.
The following are just some of the plain old silly bills introduced.
Do you remember President Joe Biden's push to phase out and heavily regulate your gas stove?
Yeah, places like California and New York have already tried to implement this silly idea. And now Maryland has followed suit when HB 91 was introduced in this session.
This bill would have essentially banned gas stoves.
Thankfully, this bill didn't even make it out of committee.
Yeah, but if that bill didn't convince you that liberal lawmakers are trying to turn Maryland into California, House Bill 1096 is a bill that would have established government-sponsored heroin houses or opium dens so that drug addicts can be provided sterile needles to continue to use hard drugs.
Besides the fact that this bill would literally incentivize drug addicts to do more drugs, the words safe injection sites is just an oxymoron and probably why this bill was not passed.
However, the number of liberal lawmakers who co-sponsored this bill is worrisome.
Absolutely. The bill went so far as to not only provide a location and needles for addicts to continue to use drugs, but it would also give them cable TV and maid service paid for by you and me,
the taxpayer. Believe it or not, it gets even worse. Senate Bill 123, the Second Look Act, would have let felons serving a life sentence for murder, rape, child sex offenses, and other terrible crimes get a taxpayer-funded attorney to appeal their sentences.
Yeah, after serving only 20 years, this bill passed the Senate along party lines, but we were able to defeat this bill in the House.
You have to ask yourself why the liberal leadership would want to release the worst violent criminals into our streets.
Out of the many bad bills introduced in this legislative session, we have and will continue to fight against these ugly pieces of legislation that not only hurt our constituents, but all of Maryland.